Hello everybody, and welcome back to one of my never watched 40k discussion videos, where I just pick a topic in 40k universe, something I want to talk about or think about, make a video on it, and then throw that video up into the void for nobody to watch. Today, I want to talk about something I was thinking about after reading the Devastation of Baal, and that is Gabriel Seth has a point. Now, if you've read the book, you already know exactly where I'm going for this, but for the uninitiated and those who haven't read it, when the Indomitus Crusade and all the Primaris Marines show up to relieve Baal at the end of the Devastation of Baal, Gabriel Seth points out a couple of interesting things about the new Primaris Marines showing up to reinforce the Blood Angels and their successors that I really 100% agree with after thinking about it. If you know where I'm going with this, you'll know towards the end of the book, Seth is talking to Dante, and he's saying that the Primaris Marines are not salvation; they are replacement. Their new warriors will wear the colours of their chapters, but without Sanguinius's fury, they will be only in name. They will be in name only. They do not have the Black Rage or the Red Burst, so they cannot understand the struggle that the chapters that they've now seconded to are going through. They cannot understand their non-Primaris brothers, Thirst and Rage. They don't get it. They're not truly a part of Sanguinius's lineage because Sanguinius himself dealt with the Rage and the Thirst, and for the last 10,000 years, the Blood Angels and successors have fought on trying to be noble and virtuous, despite having a bloodthirsty, kill-crazy urge that could affect them at any point in their lives. The Primaris Marines just don't get it, and never will. Yeah, as Seth himself says, the flaw is what makes us what we are. We are nothing without the struggle against it. And then he goes on to say that Guilliman would make us all but Ultramarines in red armor. I mean, that's exactly right. And he's also worried that Guilliman will want them gone and his own warriors put in his stead, meaning the Primaris Marines. And that's actually true. When I actually really thought about it, it's 100% correct, not just from a fluff standpoint. But imagine gameplay-wise, imagine the Blood Angels Codex, right? Imagine, say, 9th edition, It's all Primaris Marines now. There are no regular Marines anymore. They're all gone. Then what's the difference between the Blood Angels and the rest of the chapters? If you take away the Death Company, Flying Librarian, Dreadnought, Storm Ravens, Sanguinary Guard, if you take all that away and make them all Primaris Marines based on the Primaris Marine Lesson Codex Space Marine, then they're nothing but red Ultramarines. And I know Games Workshop's not fucking stupid enough to do that because they'd have a shitload of angry fans who are suddenly pissed off that their chapters have all just become Dark Angels, Space Wolves, Blood Angels. They've all become just red Ultramarines. You probably wouldn't even need to print a Blood Angels Codex. You just have one big Space Marines Codex if that was the case. But the point still stands. From a gameplay-wise standpoint, all Primaris Marines makes them all the same. It's boring, it's uninteresting, and it's just dumb. And from a narrative standpoint, in the universe itself, yeah, you take away all the things that make these chapters unique, like Red Thirst, the Black Rage, you take away the Curse of the Wolf from the Space Wolves, then they are all just Ultramarines in different coloured armour. And that is utterly disrespectful to the Emperor's vision for the Space Marines, and ultimately his own brother's legacies. Guilliman is corrupting and destroying his own brother's legacies. For what? Well, in his eyes, it's so he can save the Imperium and have a unified force. But he is killing his brother's legacy and his lineage here. Saying, Sanguinius' sons, they fought on, continue to be noble and defiant and loyal, despite the fact they have all have a kill crazy urge. Some of them will admit, like Flesh Tearers and Knights of Blood, do lose this fight more often than they win it. But even so, it's an ultimately true statement by Seth about the Primaris Marines. They're nothing but Ultramarines in red armor without the unique things that, make them unique to their chapters. And that's boring from a fluff standpoint, boring from a gameplay standpoint, and it's just slightly disrespectful to all of the chapters that have their own unique lineages and ideas. Going back to the book now. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Gilliman will want them gone. As Seth makes the point itself, it is a deliberate action against Sanguinius' heritage, and a deliberate action against the work of the Emperor himself, and nobody is seeing it. And I find that interesting. I mean, I do understand that some chapters did actually see it, but the Custodes basically said, if you don't accept these Primaris Marines, we're going to execute your chapter for disobeying the Emperor, which is an asshole thing of the Custodes to do. But, whatever, the Custodes were always assholes. So, yeah, I don't know. This just kind of stuck with me and made me, think about it. And it is true. Imagine if you took away all of the unique things of the Space Marine chapters. They would all just be red Ultramarines, and then it would be Matt Ward's ultimate dream come true. I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting to this, but I just found this an interesting piece of fluff from Devastation of Baal, and I could see it as the start of a slippery slope argument. Now, I don't see the Black Library writers going this way, and I don't see Games Workshop going this way, because even they're not that fucking stupid. But from an in-universe perspective, it would be intriguing to see where this sort of rabbit hole would take us. I'd like to know if there are any other chapter masters or anyone else out there who thinks of Primaris Marines the same way as Gabriel Seth does. And I'd love to see Gabriel Seth actually talking with Gilliman himself. I mean, Amit, when the Codex Astartes was first implemented 10,000 years ago, basically bought the exact same thing of Gilliman. And now, 10,000 years later, Gabriel Seth is doing it. Kind of seems like that the Flesh Tearers seem to have a bit of a role as the naysayers of Gilliman, don't you agree? Ah, well, that's all I have to say about that, so thank you very much, lads, if you listen to this, and I'll catch you all again another time.